You could almost hear a collective sigh of relief of Indian fans across the world, because today's day started with heart rates which were racing higher than the net run rate. It was a day of panic for Indian fans, but South Africa won their game, and then India won their game with 72 runs. It was a pretty decent win for India. They would have liked to finish things off much quicker, but Bennett got 97 runs. He was not out. Arshdeep picked up 3 wickets. Akshar Patel picked up 1 and Varun picked up 1. We're back at Cricbuzz Live. I've got Michael and Ajinkya with me. That's what Indian fans are feeling right now.
Yeah.
But Ajinkya, that game, we were discussing this in the mid-match show. We were saying that India would like to finish things off under 108, to just negate that tension if there's a washout. New Zealand gave them a fight.
Yeah. See, I think we spoke about India probably.
I'm sorry, Zimbabwe gave them a fight.
New Zealand, Zimbabwe, yeah. Zimbabwe, India will think of getting Zimbabwe all out just below 100. But let's accept that wicket was really good to bat. So let's give credit to Zimbabwe batters, how well they batted, especially Bennett getting 97. Attack like India, Bumrah, Arshdeep, Varun, Akshar, everyone. All top class bowlers. How well they batted. So Michael spoke about after winning the toss, probably the Zimbabwe ideal situation for them to bat first, and we saw how well they batted. So credit to them. Wicket was really good, but I think Indian bowlers will be slightly disappointed. Even if it's a flat wicket, Indian quality bowling attack, we know how good they are, picking up just 6 wickets. So that will probably, confidence-wise, I feel they'll be slightly down. But win is a win. So that's what Indian team wanted to do. Indian fans wanted that victory. And again, just one game at a time. They'll be probably thinking about next game now. But yes, 108 all out, it's not easy. Getting any team all out for 108 on a good wicket, it's not easy. But a good win for Indian team.
Well, Michael, just like he's saying, a win is a win. India will take it, because the way the day started, like you said, my voice has changed as well. Most Indian fans are relieved because they wanted this win. They wanted South Africa to win. So they'll be happy with the way things have gone today.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you mentioned New Zealand, because my crystal ball tells me that New Zealand will probably play India in the semi-finals. If India beat the West Indies, New Zealand beat England tomorrow night. That'll be the game that you've just mentioned. So
Michael's crystal ball.
She's already thinking it. She's already visualizing the game.
She's already thinking. She's already. I think it's next Thursday. You're ahead of your time. It's going to be India versus New Zealand at the Wankhede. India will be delighted. They've had the best possible day. I think the net run rate was always going to be a tall order, but they needed South Africa to win. South Africa got the win. They needed to beat Zimbabwe. They needed their batters in form. All the batters are in form, and I think they came out with the intention to try and bowl Zimbabwe out for 108. But as soon as they went beyond 108, I think it was like you could see the intensity was lost. And Bennett played great. It's a tremendous tournament that he's having, and he's playing with great skill. He's got power. He's got those hits over the leg side, 6 sixes, 8-4, striking at 164, 97 not out against. I still think whatever happens, I still think India are the best team in the world in T20 cricket. They're a fantastic team, and to score 97 not out in that atmosphere is a tremendous achievement. But it's been a great day for India. They are back in the race to win the World Cup.
Well, they're back in the race to win the World Cup. And like I said, Michael and his crystal ball, he's seeing this is the next Thursday game. I can tell you that he is someone who's been getting everything correct. So, Michael, we are going to hold you on that, because I know you're getting everything right, the predictions that you're calling. But I just want to go back to Bennett and what he's been doing. 277 runs this World Cup. He's been dismissed just once, Ajinkya. It's incredible, the story, because he's come to the biggest stage in world cricket and he's performed the way he has.
Yes, he's been fantastic throughout the tournament for Zimbabwe. The way he batted today, especially with that intent, proper cricketing shots, and taking down Bumrah, Arshdeep, Akshar, Varun. It's never easy. That 26 run over of Shivam Dube. That shows the ability which he has. The proper cricketing shots, as I mentioned.
And 6 sixes.
6 sixes. Yeah, absolutely. What impressed me the most is his character, willingness to attack Bumrah. Probably players, batters generally like to go defensive against Bumrah and take other bowlers on. But he was very positive against Bumrah as well. At least that intent to do well, intent to play short against Bumrah. So he's been fantastic for Zimbabwe. They just need to nurture him really well. No opportunities for him. Probably any IPL team probably looking at him in the future as well. And also around the world. There's so many leagues happening around the world. Players from Zimbabwe and other teams, that's the opportunity for them to grow as a cricketer and also nurture them. So really happy what I saw today from Bennett. But the Indian team will be delighted with the win. Yes, the kind of shots they have played.
Yes.
That shows that how good that wicket was. No, Indian team scored 256, but even Zimbabwe, how well they batted. So let's not think too much about Indian bowling. I feel they did really well. It was a must-win game. Yes, it was Zimbabwe, but I thought the kind of cricket Indian team played overall today, it was amazing.
Well, Zimbabwe, of course, they took the game a little closer with those big hits, but unfortunately for them, it is the end of their campaign in this World Cup. They should be proud with the way they've played and where they've reached in the Super 8s. But just coming back to what India have done today, Michael, it's a sigh of relief. It is a high pressure game. They have come out and there were a lot of question marks on a lot of batters. The batters have come out and done what they had to do. With the bowlers, it was a flattish pitch. If I can be polite and say it was a flattish pitch, a tough pitch to bowl on. But even on this pitch, Jasprit Bumrah has given away just, I think, 7 runs and over. He's given away just 21, not picked up a wicket. Pick of the bowlers there, Arshdeep. Picked up 3 wickets, gave away just 24.
Yeah, I mean, I look at, you've got to be honest, the 6 bowling option has gone for 46 in 2 overs, and if it was another game, I'm not too sure he bowls those 2 overs. I think you see out with obviously your better bowlers. The skipper knows he's through in terms of the win. He's probably going, I'll just give him a couple of overs just to see, just give him a little bit of a bowl through. So I wouldn't read too much into that. The rest of the bowling was pretty good. The pitch is flat. India have done what they've had to do today. And that's the most thing. The most important thing for India today was Abhishek Sharma getting run. Sanju at the top of the order. That combination looks a strong one. Tilak Varma coming in and playing a nice cameo. The rest of the batters getting a little bit of time in the middle. And the bowlers had a run out. They know the West Indies game is crucial to get through to the semi-finals. But I've seen this Indian team for long enough now that once they get on that kind of winning trail of knowing that they've had their blip against South Africa, where they just like that they switched off with the batting hand. It was almost like, we'll just play all the shots in the ball. I don't think they'll have that moment again. So you look at the West Indies and think they're going to have to play a great game to beat India. We know Calcutta, it can be a good chasing ground. It all depends on the pitch, but it can be a good chasing ground. But I think India are good enough to get the wrong end of the toss to win that game of cricket. I think the West Indies will probably have to get the right end of the toss to win that game.
Well, you were speaking about Shivam Dube. I just want to go and touch upon that a little bit, Ajinkya. Like Michael said, we even saw Surya smiling a little bit towards the end, that today was a day that India could afford it, but it's kind of becoming a persistent problem because his economy all through this World Cup has been 13.28. So if they keep going on with this in crunch matches, even that 1 over can make a big difference.
Yeah, this format 1 over can actually make a huge difference. Knowing Shivam about his bowling style is basically once he keeps it slightly straighter lines and those lengths, he's more effective. Right now, the plan, what we see, team management, I think wants, or the captain wants him to bowl slightly wider lines, wide Yorkers, wider lines. I feel with his pace, that line is pretty much easy gettable.
No, and if you don't get the Yorker in, you're just going to be
because there is no pace, you can actually open up both the sides. What will hurt Shivam Dube the most today was the no balls, the extras which he bowled. This format, every single extra matters a lot. So I think if Shivam Dube has to bowl, if Suryakumar Yadav thinks Shivam Dube is going to bowl in the future games as well, probably a different strategy for him, this different plan for him as a bowler, because he gets that bounce. No one actually expects that Shivam Dube gets that one, but he gets that extra bounce. He has a good slower ball, good slower bouncer, because I've seen him bowling in the domestic level in Mushtaq Ali Trophy as well. So I think if Shivam Dube sticks to his own plan, bowling straighter lines and then change of pace in between, I think he'll be really good, because he's a wicket taker. He always breaks the partnership. But I think for him at this moment, the plan which is bowling slightly outside of some wide Yorkers, which is not his strength. So if he can just come to his original plan, he'll be really good. But I think 1 over can actually make the huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with the way that he's bowling. If he has to bowl again, India is struggling. He's just not bowling. Well, the problem is with
Well,
someone
India
like...
didn't need him to bowl today. Actually,
But
that
I
last
just think
over,
they were
right?
giving him overs. I think
Yes.
the game was done. You know, they knew they'd won, and they knew they weren't going to really affect the net run rate. So they were just going to give him over. That I wouldn't read it too much into that. The problem with someone like Shimon now bowling wide of off stump, these players can whack you over extra cover for
Absolutely.
6. So the days of you couldn't get a 6 over extra cover.
And we know
so you
what
had to
West
get it.
Indies can do.
Yeah, so look, I wouldn't read too much into his bowling. If he's required to bowl, there'll be one of two things: India are in a real bad position, or they've got so many on the board and they're giving him a couple
Probably
of overs.
ideal situation for him now coming into bowl if the wicket falls immediately after power play. Just get 1 over of Shivam Dube out, and then
Yes.
you can have those options. But ideally, even I would like to see all the main bowlers bowling 4 overs each.
Yeah, I don't
just
think they need to bowl him.
Yeah, before going into the semi-finals.
But it's just 1 over that they usually like to get him off, maybe the 13th or 14th over. Ajinkya, you've known him a little bit. I understand India's won this game and we saw smiles on the face. But as a player, someone like Shivam Dube has been hit for 43 runs. It is going to take a dent on his confidence.
See, one thing I can tell you about Shivam, a very confident guy, even if he's as a bowler, even if he'll go for runs, he will come and tell the captain, I need the ball. Give me the ball, I want to bowl. So he probably gets upset when he's not bowling. So he will be okay, but the only thing he has to understand that what are his strengths as a bowler. Now, as I said, if Arshdeep and Bumrah can look to bowl wider and the wide Yorker, because of their pace, batsmen, they can get away. But with Shivam Dube, slightly here and there, as Michael said, all the batters nowadays, they are so good playing over covers, point as well. No, some batsmen do look to play over square legs. So I think for Shivam, the accuracy is most important thing.
Well, Michael, at least the good news for India is that all the boxes were ticked with the batting, not so much with the ball today. We spoke about that next game they have is West Indies. And we know the power hitting, the range hitting the West Indian batters bring. What would you think India should do when they come to bowl to West Indies?
I just think they've got to be smart. I mean, we saw South Africa today. They hit length early. They snicked off a few of the West Indies. They came out of the West Indies today with a mindset of being ultra aggressive too early. You know, the way that I think the West Indies play their best is when they give themselves time and they backload, and the last 8 overs is when they really explode, and that's when they get the 220s. I think they'll play smart, the West Indies, against an India bowling attack, but you know, India, I mean, I look at their bowling attack, they don't really need a 6 bowling option. They've got Patel, they've got Chakravarti, they've got Pandya, they've got Arshdeep Singh, they've got Jasprit. You're pretty much guaranteed 4 from all those 5, so a bit of Tilak Varma you can always throw the ball to as well. So there's plenty in the bowling tank. I'll just be on the pitch, the conditions, the night. 2 dangerous teams, particularly obviously India now. I think they'll be, I wouldn't say clear favourites going into that game, but I have them as favourites to win that match. And you know, the West Indies, I would guarantee will play Akil Hussain. I can't imagine he's going to miss that.
I'm sure they've watched Cricbuzz live, Michael. I'm sure they have.
Oh, Darren Sammy will be messaging me. I can't believe he's got it wrong. But they'll get that right. He'll come back in and bowl in the power play. But sometimes when you make decisions like that, and it was a really big game for the West Indies today because they beat South Africa. They're potentially going to knock India out of the tournament. And you don't get many opportunities to knock the favourites out of the tournament so early on in a tournament. So the West Indies are a bit disappointed that they didn't put up a better show, but we know with West Indian cricket, on their day, they can beat anyone. So India will have to play a good game in a few days' time.
Well, we'll have a look at that points table because earlier today, South Africa did India a favour. They won. They've got the Q next to their name, and in return, India did South Africa the favour and beat Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe have been eliminated, but India now get those 2 points. And that net run rate, Ajinkya, which was a major concern cause, but is just, you know, now settled in, which all Indian fans will be happy about.
Yeah, it's still in the minus, but again, India just needs to win that match rather than thinking too much about the net run rate now, unless it trends. But no, if Indian team can just back their strengths as a team, what they have done today, the good thing is all the batters, they scored runs. We spoke about Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson. Not sure if Sanju Samson will play next game or not. Tilak Varma getting runs as well. So I think that will really help. So from Indian team's point of view, I feel sticking to their strength and just backing their game plan and just focus on that, I think they'll be okay.
All right, then let's move on to what's happening tomorrow, because it's a similar situation in that other group. The game tomorrow is England versus New Zealand, match number 49 in Colombo. And why I say it's a similar situation is that points table in that group, there is one team that's qualified, one team that has been eliminated. Michael Vaughan has a smile on his face because England have that Q next to their name. New Zealand, if New Zealand win tomorrow, they qualify and they knock out Pakistan. But if England win, Pakistan's hopes are kept alive. Michael, of course, I will come to you first because your team the other day, while it was a one-man show, Harry Brook got that 100. None of the other players actually turned up to the ground. So you'll have to go tell your boys, is that okay, guys? It's
Michael, probably Baz got your message. You spoke about Harry Brook or Will Jacks should come up.
He didn't get the message. He watched Cricbuzz live. Ajinkya.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Will Jacks is in great form. Sam Curran keeps playing nice cameos. So I think tomorrow night it's intriguing because the pitch that they play on tomorrow, but I can't see how Pakistan can win by so many to overturn the net run rate of New Zealand. But I think the pitch tomorrow night will be completely different to what's going to happen here in India next week. So Calcutta, the Wankhede and the Ahmedabad Stadium is going to be completely different. So I think if you're obviously an England side, you desperately want to win tomorrow to carry on with the momentum. But I don't think it's the end of the world losing tomorrow because the conditions next week are going to be completely different. I just look at the league status of what's happening here. And obviously India, look, like if they win, they're going to finish second.
Yes.
Now, do you want to finish top and play India in the semi-final at the Wankhede, or do you want to finish second and play potentially South Africa in a semi-final in Calcutta? I mean, you don't look at that, but I don't think tomorrow night's the worst. If I dare say, I don't think it's the worst night to lose.
Yes.
So you avoid.
You're saying England rather play South Africa.
I think playing India at the Wankhede is a very big challenge.
Yes.
I don't see India losing here. I could see any team going to Calcutta and winning, you know, England or New Zealand. But I think India here at the Wankhede, if they get through, I think that's a tall order. But you don't set out to lose a game. You go out and try and play well. And I think importantly for England, no matter what the pitch is for Butler to get some runs. You know, we've talked about Abhishek Sharma tonight. It's so important. If Josh can find a score tomorrow, you've seen Josh Butler in the past. Once he gets one score, he can go boom, boom, boom. And he's got the ability, like Harry Brook, to win games on his own. So if you've got Josh Butler finding form, you've got Harry in form, you've got Will Jacks in form, and you've got Sam Curran playing cleverly. You know,
that looks dangerous. Yeah.
There's 4 in the 7, and then you've got Phil Salt, who's always dangerous at the top. If England can come over here next week with 4 or 5 in decent form in that top 7, because I've seen enough with the bowling. I think the bowling will be fine. They've got some real good combinations. But if they can just get a player or 2 in form tomorrow, coming to play on better wickets next week, I think England can be a real threat.
But do you think they'll experiment at all? Because like you said, not too much at stake. Maybe get Wood back in.
England
maybe get
England to CSK. They win, they carry on.
Just to add on, the good thing about England is they're finding the way how to win. Now, the game against Pakistan as well, last game as well. So I think they're finding the way how to win the matches, and I feel that's the most dangerous thing. There are only, I mean, Harry Brook got a brilliant 100.
Yes.
Butler is struggling. Phil Salt again contributing here and there.
Openers as well aren't doing too well.
Then Will Jacks is doing well for them. Got 3 man of the matches. But the good thing about them, they will take confidence from that. Whoever is actually struggling, but there's a guy who's actually putting his hand up and contributing for the team, and from there they are winning. Bowling wise, they are doing really well. And as Michael rightly mentioned, the conditions, the semi-finals will be completely different. The wickets will be completely different. So tomorrow, probably Josh Butler would like to get some runs. Phil Salt, that opening combination, they would like to get some runs, and the bowlers, as I said, been doing really well. So I think England, I'm really happy. As a cricketer, it's good to see that teams are actually finding a way to win. That's really good to see, rather than just going one way. You mentioned. I think it's a very good sign that England is finding the way.
Well, New Zealand, on the other hand, is a team which is always very consistent. You know what you can expect from New Zealand. In that last game, of course, they had a little bit of hiccup, and then we had Santner and Cole McConchie who came in and got those runs, the big runs later. They beat Sri Lanka by 61 runs. Ajinkya, for New Zealand, they've had a 100% win record at the Premadasa. And in general, the openers have been in good form. Do you see any changes at all for them?
I don't see any changes. I mean, the last game, 84 for 6, and from there 168 for 7. That shows how confident, how well they play together.
Yes.
You cannot write off New Zealand easily. I mean, New Zealand team, they just don't give up. Played so many games with them during ICC tournaments, bilateral series. They just don't give up. Quality about them, they have good spinners. They know the conditions, and you spoke about the records. It's so good, but on any given day, you're not going to take New Zealand lightly at all. And that partnership of 80 odd run partnership will give massive confidence to Santner and the McConaughey. It's so good that that happened to them. And as I said, playing against New Zealand is always a challenge. You know what is going to come against for you. So England will be slightly worried. Going into the semi-finals, teams would like to take the confidence, that momentum with them. So yes, I think it's going to be a great game.
Yeah. Michael, New Zealand's played most of their games in Chennai this World Cup. They, of course, moved to Sri Lanka that last game. Maybe that's why the conditions you're not so used to. Do you see them adapting, changing their teams around just for those tacky wickets?
No, I don't think so. I mean, that's why they're so good, because they always find a way. I mean, they're a team that we haven't mentioned. And that's exactly what New Zealand are. They're always a team that no one talks about, and then suddenly you go, they're in semis.
Yes.
And that's what they do. They are... they like to be under the radar, and for some bizarre reason, we all keep them under the radar, and we have done for too many years now. They're always there or thereabouts, and again, I wouldn't want to play them, in any conditions, because New Zealand against South Africa got the wrong end of the toss in Ahmedabad. So South Africa won that game quite easily. There's not many games of cricket that you actually see New Zealand lose badly.
Yes.
Even when they lose, it's close. So whoever plays them, England tomorrow night, the semi-final, whoever they play, it won't be an easy game of cricket, because if you look at their 1 to 11, they've all got experience of playing here. They've played so much IPL. They've got an experienced group, brilliantly led, very smartly coached from... I never know the New Zealand coaches because he's just under the radar, never gets mentioned. That's been the case for many, many years. Go back to Mike Hesson. I used to go, who's the coach?
Yes.
Didn't know who he was, but you knew that they were going to be very professional, operate as a unit, identify each other's roles. They've got great combinations with bat, brilliant fielders, and they stay very humble and calm under pressure. So they'll be a hard team to beat from here on in.
All right, then your players to watch out for, one from each team. Ajinkya, why don't you go first?
Josh Butler. I want Josh Butler to get runs for England tomorrow, and then Mitchell Santner.
I will go Finn Allen. I always go Finn Allen. I think it'll be the contest between him and Jofra Archer.
Archer has been in great form.
Yeah, good form, but I think that'll be an intriguing contest. But I think Adil Rashid in his mystery spin. He likes bowling to most teams, but particularly in Colombo, where there's a little bit of grab in the surface. Obviously, saw for Six Shana yesterday. He got 3 for quickly and then got hit, but I think Rashid will be quite smart. He'll get a few wickets.
All right, then. Exciting game coming up tomorrow. But like Michael said, England will be all right either way, because they'll be thinking of who they want to play in the semi-finals. But it's always exciting to watch good cricket, which we are going to get to see tomorrow. Is it always exciting to see the joy factor?
Yes.
Oh, Ajinkya
Do
says yes.
you know the answer?
No.
You said you knew the answer.
I completely forgot about it.
Oh,
Now
I
let
see.
me
You
read it
forgot the
once.
answer.
Although this cricketer took over 10 wickets in his debut test, which was also the final test of a former Indian captain, the cricketer went on to play just one more test in his career. Identify him.
So he only played 2 tests in his career and he got 10 wickets in 1 innings or 1 match.
In his debut.
So his debut match he got 10 for, and then he only played 1 more test after that.
Yes.
Oh, that's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Is it Amit Mishra?
No.
No. Any other
It
guesses?
must be a New Zealander. No?
No.
No? South African?
Indian?
It's got to be South
Indian
African.
girl?
No.
No?
England?
What country? Zimbabwean.
No. Okay, guys, how long are we going to
What
go
just tell me
on?
what country?
Australian.
Australia. He got 10 for and played on...
Kreza. Jason Kreza?
Oh, the off-spinner. Oh,
I got it. I got
Well
it.
done.
I got it.
Well done, Ajinkya.
Wow.
After at least giving 92 clues to the joy factor question,
Right.
giving away all the countries, we've got Ajinkya finally get a joy factor in. Well done. Does it feel very good?
Very good.
Yeah?
I'm really happy.
Next time we'll try it with a few lesser cues. Next time. That's the target.
It's
Let's
Australia, so I'm
Yes.
I'm happy.
Let's have a look at who's gotten it correct besides Ajinkya. Sakshi Mittal, 42, has gotten it correct. Well done, Sakshi. Congratulations on this. I hope you didn't get any clues and any hints from anywhere. We needed them, but I'm sure you didn't. We needed a lot of help with the guessing game. Rather, I did, because Michael has gotten 2 out of 4 today, which is incredible, and Ajinkya has gotten 1. But Murli Karthik stands there smiling and smirking at us as, oh, Michael, where are you? GK is under you.
Yeah, and Jinx.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've had a good
Ajinkya.
I'll see you on 5th, Michael.
Yeah, this is good.
Michael's climbing up the charts all right, and I've fallen down on the charts, which isn't good at all. But Zach is up. But Murli Karthik, if you're watching, you're still leading. We have to do something about this, guys. Michael, you have to win every single
we need
game
more
that you're
points.
here.
We need more points for semi-finals and finals.
We've tried changing rules here, Ajinkya. They're
I like
very
that.
strict.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Double or nothing.
Yeah.
Well, the guessing game rules comes from the MCC. It's very difficult to change anything around here. So, well, if it was the ECB, we could have maybe asked for permission and gotten Michael to write a few letters and do things for us. But
I'm not too sure I'm the right person there.
all right, Michael, thank you so much, Ajinkya. Ajinkya is not in tomorrow.
No.
He will be
5th.
practicing hard for all the KKR fans all day. Michael, I'll see you. I don't know if you'll have a game of paddle in the morning, but I'll see you in the evening for sure. And Ajinkya, we'll see you very soon. Thank you everyone for watching today. For all Indian fans, I know it was a high pressure game, but we're through this game. And now it is the first. When India plays West Indies, it will be a knockout. Before that, of course, we will be here tomorrow for England versus New Zealand. So do join us there. That's all we have time for right now. Good night and goodbye.